All right, let's do a negative version. Let's do. All right, so this is my new equation. What I need to do is find my x-intercepts, my y-intercept. Hey guys, lots of people are talking. Let's focus. And my turning point, my TP. I'm not going to write it out every time. All right, so my x-intercept, let's do that first. I'm going to make what? How am I finding my x-intercept? Right, making y equal 0. Now, who remembers how we factorize when we have a negative first term? What do you think, Josiah? Yes, can you be a little clearer on what you mean by that? Good, yeah. So I'm basically dividing everything by -1, right? So negative goes outside my brackets. You can't factorize when the first term is negative. So now all my symbols are changing. Oh, you know what I've done? I've actually made that impossible. What I'm going to do is make that negative instead. Otherwise, sorry, I'm going to make that positive, which makes that negative. Otherwise, this doesn't work. Okay, so if this is now my factorizable thing, right? The negative is still fine. It just sits out the front and it tells us it's an upside down frowny face. So what are my two numbers that add to the middle and multiply to the last? 4 and 1, which one's which? Okay, so +4 and -1, those are going to add to 3 and multiply to -4, right? So what are my x-intercepts? No. -4 and 1. Remember, we've got to make each bracket equal 0. So the sign is always the opposite. So this is -4 + 4 is 0. 1 - 1 is 0. All right, what if I make all of the x's equal 0? What's y? -4. That one's easy. All right, the turning point. Remember, it's -b over 2a. So in this case, what's -b? Just +3, because b is already negative. And then 2 times what? It's the number in front of x squared. -1, so it's 2 times -1, which is -2. So then this is -1.5. So I put that back into my formula. So we're going to get negative, what is that? 9/4. That's super annoying. Plus 9/2 minus 4. You can do this on a calculator. You don't have to do it all by hand, but if I did it by hand, oops, or 16/4. All right, if you did this, so this is what, 9 minus 16 is -7/4. All right, so that makes, all right, guys, listen up, please. Okay, my computer's having a breakdown again. Okay, so I have some annoying fractions, but that's totally fine. I'm going to zoom out so I can draw it. So I need some more space. All right, what's my axis of symmetry? What's the axis of symmetry, guys? Negative what? What did you say? I didn't hear. No, it's the x coordinate. So it's -3/2. So the axis of symmetry is always the x coordinate of the graph. All right, so let's have a go at drawing this. Now, the good thing about this stuff is if you mess it up, it should be really obvious because your dots won't form a proper graph. All right, now we know that this should be a frowny face graph, so let's put our dots. We said that the x-intercepts are -4 and 1. We said that our y-intercept, oh, what did I do?
Reduce the previous equation. The -4 not +4.
Where are you talking about?
On the top, reduce -4.
Oh, you're right. That's what I've done. Yeah. Okay, which makes that +4. Yeah, thanks. All right. So that give me the pen back. Okay, so then we have +4. Guys, shh, focus. Now, I've got -1.5, so -1.5. And what's -7/4? I've done it again. That's what I did. Okay, why? Someone find, okay, I just found my own mistake. Someone tell me why this is wrong. I used the -4. I used the wrong thing, didn't I? So remember, I changed this to a plus. I didn't do it over here. So that's plus, that's plus, that's plus, which makes this 9 plus 16 is 25/4, which makes that 25/4. All right, so 25/4 is what? Give me that as a mixed number. 6 1/4. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 1/4 and negative. So it's like over here. Now that looks right, doesn't it? That's going to form a frowny face graph. So that is good. I've got 9 of my dots in the wrong place. And then I have my frowny face graph. So what have I not drawn on my graph yet? Axis of symmetry, which is always the x coordinate of the turning point. Now, sometimes you will get lovely, nice whole number answers. Sometimes you will get annoying fractions. Either way, it doesn't matter as long as you just roughly put it on your diagram. Like this is 6 1/4. Just put it as close to 6 1/4 as you can get. It's not a big deal. What we are going to do is have a go at drawing this backwards. So you don't have to draw one, but what if I gave you a graph and said, write me an equation from it? So all we're going to do is pick the information that we need. I swear it's actually a lot easier than it sounds. Okay, if I gave you this and asked you to write me an equation, is this a smiley face or frowny face? Okay, so we know that the first term is positive. What are the two x-intercepts? So if I wrote this as an equation, what would these two numbers be? Right, +2 and -6. Remember, these are going to be the opposite of these. So if I put them, because my x-intercepts are 6 and -2, these have to be the opposite. So all I do to get my equation is FOIL it, right? Expand my brackets, just like we did before. So the two numbers, these are going to add to the middle term, which is -4x, and multiply to the last, which is -12. So that is the equation that matches this graph. Let's do it again. Okay, so if this is 2 and this is -4, is this a frowny face now? So we know the first term is going to be negative. So what are my two numbers? +4 and -2. Expand it out. So y equals negative. What's this going to be? My middle term is what? +2. My last term is -8. Now, I put this negative out the front. So that needs to now go on all of the terms. So -x² minus 2x plus 8. That is this equation. Do you see what I'm doing? So all you do is plug the two x-intercepts into this. If it's positive, leave it. If it's negative, make sure there's a negative sign. Expand this and then incorporate your negative. Remember, the middle term is these two added. The last term is these two multiplied. Okay, we are going to have a go at doing this. So you are doing lesson 2 today. I know that we skipped it yesterday. We went straight to lesson 3. This is exercise 18.3.